here now with reaction to all of the developing stories coming out of Iran and the Middle East. Former Deputy Commander of U.S. Central Command, Vice Admiral Robert Harward is with us. Admiral, let me ask you, I think a lot of people were caught a little bit off guard by the little change of strategy today. My only guess can be, and it is only a guess, is that there must have been some movement on some level today to convince the president that maybe a deal is possible. Thoughts?
You're watching both the strategies play out, and both of those strategies are focused on the Straits of Hormuz. The president believes the blockade will create the pressure and the problems for the regime to force them to the negotiation tables. The regime believes their ultimate control of the Straits will allow them to influence negotiations at the table. So we're going to have to see what this deal presents. But I think predicated on the fact that very few ships were moving through the Straits, they both doubled down on their own strategies, with time being the main determinant now. So we'll have to see what comes out of these negotiations, what the offer is. And as Secretary Rubio said, first and foremost, no nuclear weapon. But I believe at the end of the day, the real center of gravity remains the leadership in Iran, the IRGC, and their ability to control the people, leveraging these elements of power, be it the Straits of Hormuz, the nuclear weapons, the funding of surrogates. So unless we address all those issues, it's just as Secretary Rubio said, we'll be back and dealing with this later. So again, we'll have to see what the negotiations portend, but any control of the Straits by either side seems unacceptable to the other at this point.
Admiral, if there's one operation maybe that I felt the most uncomfortable with, it was the idea that America's Navy would be used to help ships work their way through the Strait, because at its narrowest point, what is it, 24 miles? At that point, a horizontal Stinger missile, for example, would make our Navy ships, prime targets, and wouldn't give them a victory, but it would give them a symbolic victory. I would not want our ships hit at all, period, end of sentence. Thoughts?
Without a doubt. I've heard details from countries I've been visiting in the region that the bulk of the aircraft that had been attacked or brought down were provided by man-pads. That means man-operated weapons, such as a Stinger that we leveraged with the Mujahideen to defeat the Russians in Afghanistan. So if that threat is prevalent, being provided by a third country, that's a real threat to our air power and may be part of the reason we're standing back. I believe the president is taking that into consideration again, and that's why his strategy to choke the financial resources while minimizing risk to our troops is a sound strategy, and that will take time to play out.
Well, according to Scott Bessent, it's playing out pretty quickly, and if they have to cap those oil wells, at best, they will only be able to recover or get back to 50–60% production at most. That's a lot of financial loss for them. The one thing that I think that Secretary Rubio said that really stuck out to me, if they had a nuclear weapon, they could do whatever the hell they want with the Strait and any other place, and there wouldn't be a darn thing the world could do about it. And that's why this mission was so critical in my mind.
Yeah, exactly right. And if we had not acted now, you would not have that option in the future, as the secretary referred to. It was very clear they had the material, they had the ability to refine and process it to weapons-grade material in very short order. And that's why we had to act, and why this timing of this event is so important. But seeing it through to the end, while you have the forces in place, you have is critical to our national security, and more important to the rest of the world. Iran not only cannot have a nuclear weapon, they cannot control the Straits of Hormuz, and that's what's at play right now. So the point is spot on.
Every high-ranking official that I know, every source that I had, with the exception of one who had a philosophical difference, all said the same thing, that what Steve Witkoff reported on this program, that they had 60% enriched uranium. Less than 12 days, they have weapons-grade uranium. That was very real. That's a clear and present danger, not only to the U.S., but the entire world. Admiral, great to have you. Thank you, sir.